The lecture. Class, today we'll discuss Deathworlds, announced Professor Core, his deep blue eyes reflecting the holographic display. Planets so hostile that survival is impossible for most known species. The students of the Galactic Academy leaned forward, fascinated. They'd heard stories of the infamous Deathworlders, creatures who lived in toxic atmospheres, thrived amid predators, and called chaos home. Core gestured to an image of a blue-green planet spinning slowly in the projection. This, he said dramatically, is Earth, Deathworld Class 7, the most dangerous known cradle of sapient life. The class murmured. I heard they breathe oxygen, one student whispered. And water fall from the sky, said another. They even eat plants and animals. Professor Core nodded. Indeed, their world is a constant storm of natural disasters, toxins, and predation. Yet somehow, this species, humans, not only survived but thrived. He paused, letting the words sink in. They are unpredictable, emotional, and resilient beyond reason. But fear not, students, you'll never meet one. The Terran Accord withdrew from galactic society centuries ago. The class relaxed. The galaxy had long since labeled humans as unstable. Best to leave them alone. Or so they thought. 2. The question. From the back row, a single hand rose. Professor Core squinted. Yes, Cadet RYN. The young student shifted uncomfortably, her gray scale shimmering in the classroom light. So, my father once said he met a human during the Zarket campaign. He said they weren't monsters. He said they were sad. Laughter filled the room. Sad, one student scoffed. Deathworlders don't feel sadness. They cause it. Professor Core raised a hand for silence. Emotions, Cadet RYN, are dangerous when mixed with power. That's why humans nearly destroyed themselves before they left the galaxy. Their compassion is as lethal as their rage. He turned back to the hologram, unaware that someone new had entered the lecture hall. 3. The stranger. The doors opened with a hiss. A tall figure stepped in, wearing a long coat, gloves, and a patch bearing the insignia of the Terran Accord. The class fell silent. The professor blinked. Excuse me, he said sharply. This is a private lecture. The stranger didn't answer immediately. He walked to the front of the class and tapped the display, zooming in on the image of Earth. You got the colors right, he said softly, voice steady but cold. But you got everything else wrong. The students froze. Who are you? Stammered Core. The man toned. His eyes, unmistakably human, locked onto the professor's. Name's Captain Marcus Hale, Terran Defense Corps. A few students gasped. Others instinctively stepped back. A human, someone whispered. Hale! 4. The correction. Captain Hale looked around the room. You're teaching them about monsters, he said. So let me correct your lesson. He tapped the hologram again, switching it to show images of ancient Terran history. Cities rising from ashes, soldiers standing amid ruins, scientists launching ships into the stars. You call Earth a death world. You're right. It tried to kill us every day. The storms, the predators, the diseases. We learned to fight back not because we wanted to, but because we had to. He pointed at the image of an erupting volcano. When fire destroyed our homes, we learned to build stronger. When the cold froze our crops, we learned to burn the sky for warmth. When predators hunted us, we hunted them. His voice hardened, and when the galaxy came for us, we adapted again. The room was dead silent. The truth about monsters. Professor Core tried to regain control. Captain Hale, sure you understand. Our record described humans as volatile, even dangerous. The council agreed that. Dangerous. Hale interrupted, smiling bitterly. You mistake survival for malice. He turned back to the students. You call us monsters because we do what you won't. You debate ethics while we bury our dead and build again. You analyze danger. We endure it. A trembling student raised her voice. But you killed entire fleets during the Orion Rebellion. Hale's gaze softened. Because they came for our children. The room froze. You call that monstrous, he continued quietly. We call it being human. 6. The demonstration. Without warning, Hale walked to the center of the hall and dropped a small metal cube onto the floor. It unfolded, projecting a battlefield hologram. Smoke, fire, chaos. This was Kellen Prime, he said. 200 humans against 10,000 invaders. The hologram shifted. 200 soldiers in environmental suits standing shoulder to shoulder as alien artillery rained down. We lost 1/3 of our force in the first hour. The rest fought for 2 days without sleep. We didn't retreat. We didn't surrender. A final flash, the battle's aftermath. Silence. The human soldiers stood victorious. Hale deactivated the cube. You call us Deathworlders, he said. But you never ask why we fight so hard to live. 7. The question reversed. Professor Core swallowed hard. Then tell us, Captain, he said carefully, why did your people leave the galaxy? Hale looked at him for a long moment. Because we realized something, he said softly. The galaxy doesn't need us. It fears us. It should. He looked up at the hologram of Earth again, its oceans and clouds swirling beautifully. But fear isn't peace. We left so you'd stop becoming us. 8. The Student's Challenge. Cadet RYN, the one who had spoken earlier, stood up. Sir, she said, my people once fought beside humans. My father said your kind saved his colony. Why are you here now? Hale gave her a small, sad smile. Because I heard the stories you tell about us. I wanted to see if they were still wrong. He turned to the professor. And they, 9. The warning. As he prepared to leave, Professor Core managed to speak again. Captain Hale, are humans still out there? Hale paused at the door. We never left, he said. We just stopped talking. He glanced over his shoulder, eyes dark as a void. But if the galaxy ever forgets why it feared us, if it ever threatens Earth again, then you'll remember this lesson. He nodded once, then disappeared into the corridor. The aftermath. For a long time, no one spoke. Finally, Professor Core turned off the hologram of Earth and faced the class. His voice trembled. Lesson concluded. He whispered. Class dismissed. The students filed out in silence, shaken. Only Cadet RYN lingered, staring at the darkened projection where Earth had once shone. Monsters, she murmured. No, just survivors.